Hello, you, and welcome to your computing lesson for this week. Our learning target is to identify and discuss the use of technology in school. So to identify is to pinpoint what different types of technology we use in school. And I'd like you to discuss these with your grown-ups at home. Your steps to success will include, if you are feeling wobbly, you will be able to say what technology we use in school. If you're feeling fine, you'll be able to say how we use technology in school and how it helps us. And if you're feeling confident, you'll be able to say how we look after the technology we use in school and how it keeps us safe. So, what types of technology do we use in school? There's some clues around my page here to help you. Pause the video here and discuss with your grown-ups. Okay, now you've had a discussion with your grown-ups. We've got iPads, walkie-talkies, laptops, B-bots, desktop computers, CD to cassette and radio players, interactive whiteboards, and our Hue visualizer. So what we want to think about is how do we use them at school and how does it help us? So with the iPads, we use the iPads a lot for our computing lessons, for programming and coding, for making ebooks, for having a go at word processing as well. We have lots of apps on the iPads that help us with our learning also. The walkie-talkies, the MSAs use the walkie-talkies to communicate with each other from a distance at lunchtime, and they're there to help keep you safe. Laptops. So we use laptops and you will use them, especially when you go throughout the school and are in year 3 and above, for word processing, making documents, researching, using the internet, going online. The B-bots we use to help us learn algorithms and computing and having a go at programming them and debugging them when they don't go the way we want, working out why. The desktop computers we use a lot. The teachers and the teaching assistants use them to plan, prepare, and resource the lessons that they teach you. You might use them for word processing, researching, learning activities. The cassette radio and CD player, you may have one in as a listening station in your classroom to listen to stories or pieces of music. You might use one in music, again, to listen to music. You might use one in PE, especially when you're learning dance. Interactive whiteboards we use, commonly I use that, or the grown-ups in your room use that a lot to teach you and to model the learning to you and to show you different bits of learning as well as watching videos. And the Who visualizer we use to help you see each other's work. So we may take a piece of work that someone has completed, put it under the camera and ask you to give feedback on it. What went well? What could be even better if? Okay, so lots of these, and the majority of them either help us to learn or, like we said with the walkie-talkies, to keep safe. Okay, so now we looked at that. I want you to have a discussion with your grown-ups about how do we look after the technology in school? How do we keep ourselves safe at school as well? So how do we look after the technology we use? Because we use a lot of technology and a lot of it costs a lot of money. But also when we're using it, how do we keep ourselves safe? Especially think about like when we're using iPads, laptops, and desktop computers. Okay, pause the video here and have a discussion. Okay, now you've had a discussion about how we keep ourselves safe at school and how we look after the technology in school. I'm going to run through some of the ideas that I had. So this first question, how do we look after the technology in school? So especially the iPads that we use a lot, we say that you carry them with 2 hands. We say that you don't wander around the classroom with them. You stay sitting at a table as much as you can, unless a grown-up tells you otherwise. With any technology we use, we say no liquids near it. So if you're having a drink, you stay at the sink. You don't take it anywhere near the technology. And we also say we treat our technology with respect. We don't bang it. We don't hit it. If we're using the B-bots, we don't chuck them across the classroom. Thinking about when we're online, and especially when we're using the internet, how do we keep ourselves safe? So here I've got a poster of e-safety top tips. So we use our knowledge of e-safety and remaining safe online. So here it says, people you don't know are strangers. They're not always who they say you are. So you always have to be careful about who you're communicating with online. Be nice to people like you would if you were with the people in the playground in person. Always keep information about yourself private. And if you ever get a funny feeling, tell a grown-up you trust. Also, think back to before half term when we done our Safer Internet Day, when we were looking at reliable information. How can we trust that information? How do we know that information is true? Who could we ask? What could we do to check? Okay, it's really important to keep ourselves safe. Another way at school, how we keep each other safe, is that the internet has filters. So nothing that's unsuitable for children should be able to get through our filters. It's all protected to keep you safe. Okay, so what I want you to do from the discussions we've had in this computing input is I want you to make a mind map. Now, the mind map here is really complicated, but it's to give you the idea that a mind map can have more than one strand. So I'd like you to make a mind map of the things that we discussed. So I would make the middle bubble say technology in school. Then you'll have a bubble coming off saying technology we use in school. So then you would write iPads off that, computers, B-bots. Then I'd like another bubble that says how the technology we use in school helps us. So you might say walkie-talkies to keep us safe, iPads to take photos and videos, laptops to help us research. Then I'd like you to do another bubble off and to talk about how we look after the technology in school. So carrying iPads to hands, no liquid near the technology. And then a final bubble coming off and saying your ideas that you came up with about how we stay safe online. So using our Wise Owl and Detective Digiduck knowledge, using safer steps to use the internet filters. Okay, so get all the ideas you can down on a piece of paper in a multiple mind map, and then take a photo of it and upload it to this assignment on Google Classroom. Okay, that's the end of your computing session, year one. Any questions, please do not hesitate to get in contact with one of the year one grown-ups. Take care, year one. See you later.